Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry with
JayArr.
We're from BoLS, and today we are taking a look at Realm of Chaos, Slaves to Darkness with a updated Retro Corner review.
Ooh.
Now we have gone through this book before,
We have.
but that was back before we had some new equipment, and we had kind of a crappy camera at the time. We have a better camera, and we wanted to revisit this book. And,
Arguably, we know what we're doing more now as well.
We've done a couple of these since then. Also, this book, we kind of wanted to start with this one because this, with the Wrath and Rapture box set coming out, or already out, this book actually has a strong feature of
Corn.
and Slaanesh.
Hey, look at that.
So they've been tied together for a very long time.
Two friends that go together like chocolate and salmon.
Yeah, it's friends. That's a word for it. Frenemies. But what's cool about this book is it was designed, of course, for the old school Warhammer game. This book actually covered both 40K and Warhammer Fantasy Battles.
Which,
so there's a lot of crossover.
The new, what is it?
Realms
of Chaos,
yeah.
right? Realms of Chaos. Coming right back to it. We're going full circle, folks. We're going full circle.
What's cool, too, is we actually do have the companion book for this, which is the Realm of Chaos, Lost and Damned. We'll do this one at a later date. But for now, we're going to be focusing on this one.
Slaves to Darkness.
Let's go ahead and dive on in. There's quite a lot of cool stuff in here. Like I said, I've gone through this before, but that was a while ago.
Let's start with the table of contents. Oh my god.
And there is a lot. So this book is written kind of like from a point of view of an Inquisitor going through here, exploring chaos and the mysteries of the Imperium. There's some stuff that gets into the mythology and the demonology of the warp. There's also some nods here to the Emperor and the Inquisition, the Illuminati, which is a shadow faction within the Imperium that nobody knows about.
The Sensei as well.
But aside from that, this book was packed full of rules for playing the game, for creating characters in the game. Again, this was kind of more of a Warhammer role-playing style back in the day. So there's a whole lot of that.
This is where you could make like a champion of chaos,
yes,
and give them all kinds of crazy things like you don't have a head, and instead you've
got four torsos.
Yeah.
But it's packed full of so much lore. I mean, we've used this as reference for tons of our articles on the main page as well. So we have this book as a resource, and it's been well loved as well. So there's a couple of pages a little beat up here. The spine's not 100%, but hey, we like this book, so we keep using it. Maybe we should have gloves while we do this, but that's too expensive.
It's gonna lick my hand.
First off, we have the Chaos Pantheon. This really just touches on the four gods of chaos. And in a way, this book also touches on the fact that the Emperor is kind of like the fifth god of the warp. But we won't get into that. This one focuses heavily on Slaanesh and Khorne, as we talked about here. And we get into all the different stuff. These two pages in particular get into the general what is Slaanesh and what is Khorne, and kind of their ethos.
What do they want from their followers?
Right.
How are they worshipped? What do they tell their
are their followers?
Yeah. What do they tell their cultists to do? And all that jazz.
So it's pretty cool. We get into different types of demons that you can have. What happens when a demon actually is died?
It doesn't really
goes back to the warp.
Just unless you go to the warp and then you kill it there.
Oh, we have the classic artwork of the Bloodthirster, who may have showed up in a certain game called Warhammer Hero Quest.
Yeah.
Just want to throw that out.
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah. This is a really fun page. This one has all of the demon names. You can roll to randomly generate your demon name. Here's just the fun thing.
Hey, this chart is featured like
they keep reusing a similar version of this chart as the game ages too. If you don't know, in the Warhammer mythos, if you know a demon's true name, then you can have power over them and even banish them to the warp. Grey Knights have a whole book of demonic true names they use to crush the demons.
They make up things like let's just pick a couple of examples here.
Oh boy!
You get Gross Buttock, the Pain Glutton.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
There's a demon.
JayArr
There's a
Warhammer
demon if ever there was one.
So this one goes through just the stats and stuff where we get into this surface Khorne. So we got the classic Bloodthirsters.
Right.
I believe we're going to have Bloodletters and Fleshhounds. all of these demonic things that have been around since the start of the game, really.
Right, and now we're getting a new look at them.
Yep.
Here's
Juggernauts.
Slaanesh's good friends.
With the Keepers
wow,
of Secrets.
the Keepers of Secrets sure were different back then.
Yeah, we're about due.
What is happening here? Okay, so
I don't want to know. That's one of the secrets, one of the many secrets. We're gonna call this Demon Victoria.
Is that arm coming out of its elbow? Going.
Yes. Then we have got Demonettes with their Seekers.
Mm-hmm. That Fiends of Slaanesh.
All this fun stuff. It's pretty crazy. What's cool about this is they have the stats, the original stat line, stat blocks for all these characters, all these demons you can run. They haven't changed too much. They've shifted around as game editions have changed and been reworked. Obviously, a 33 weapon skills, slightly different, but that's for excuse me, that's for Warhammer Fantasy roleplay. So
yeah, but for Warhammer Fantasy Battle, a 3 weapon skill is about
it's on 3 up now, 4
right.
up now. So
hey, look at that! I mean, which just goes to show like how kind of iconic these demons are. There's like this is what they are, this is what they do, this is what they will always do, no matter what the game is.
This is a section I know JayArr is kind of familiar with when it comes to creating a Chaos follower and then their path to power to becoming, as a part of the role playing, the path to becoming a demon prince. Essentially.
Yeah, what I love is that as you become a Chaos champion, right? You are
Start
first.
Here.
You're just like I have fallen to Chaos and lived long enough to not get murdered in my sleep. I will become a Chaos champion. And so you get mutated, and then you finally get some different gifts of Chaos that can kind of like twist and reshape you and remake you into something horrendous, because some of the mutations are like...
Well, what's crazy about this, just want to show the flow chart here. Go from a champion, dude. Start as a dude, become a champion, you get your first mark,
right.
And then you start going through this flow chart here.
So you determine what kind of thing you're going to get.
Yeah, randomly generate champion's reward.
You might get new followers, or not. If you are not entitled to new followers, one of your follower units gets some kind of attribute, like they become twisted, your retinue becomes whatever, or you get some followers in the first place. You get a Chaos attribute, which can be...
if you do get an attribute, then you go over here.
Right.
I just want to point out that eventually this flows down into this section, which is, do you have 6 more Chaos attributes? You get turned into a spawn.
Too bad for you.
Womp womp. You have 6 more gifts? Yes. You become a demon prince.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. That's the whole flowchart. There's a lot more to it. There's the Chaos rewards table that JayArr was mentioning. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff in here, from demonic attributes to getting special keywords to getting demon weapons and demon armor. A whole bunch of crazy stuff. We've seen this reworked and reprinted in the new Eye of the Chaos Gods chart for both Age of Sigmar and 40k. So pretty cool stuff.
One of the things I will say, one of the rewards,
different stuff.
One of the chaos mutations that you can come across is you have a bolter. I feel like I should just point that out because that is not only my favorite random mutation for your character to be, I am the dread demon prince that has a bolter. Fear me.
It's just a bolter, though.
But also,
if it's Warhammer Fantasy at the time, it's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a huge deal, and it ties together the worlds in a way that people were like,
I have a bolter.
Are they tied
I don't
together?
know if I have bolter shells though. We're gonna move on from there. You saw there you can become a skeletal champion. There's some other funky stuff in this book. I want to skip ahead because again, this book did mix the fun of Warhammer Fantasy and, of course, at the time, the upstart 40k stuff that was happening in the world, but wasn't really a part of it per se. So many demons. Skip through all that stuff. We also have demon weapons that you could get, chaos weapons, all this crazy stuff. You could get properties. This is a D1000 chart of properties, which is pretty nuts. Moving on, all these crazy weapons. We went through all of them, as you can see here. Demon weapons.
Chaos magic items. Now, these guys are where some crazy stuff happens.
Corn.
There's, which, not a magic item. Because
not a magic item.
Corn hates magic.
Magic items, this was not a magic. This is where we get to the Rod of Command, which was made from the, I I think, femur of a bloodthirster, which was a Slaanesh weapon.
Right.
And I don't want to talk about what's going on that page. We're just going to keep moving because don't stare too hard at the
There's
rock.
a ton of cool stuff that happens in this book. Like they have a lot of rules for like, here's where you get your familiar, here's how you get your artifacts, here's how you create your very own guy that's one day gonna maybe be a demon prince.
Yeah, personal
if he's lucky.
attributes. Here's where we get some funky stuff. You can become an albino.
Yep.
You can get some demonic agility.
Just become an alcoholic.
Yep. I mean, that's this chart. It was a D1000 chart.
They had to fill it with something.
So there you go. It was a whole lot of rolling.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna skip through that hideous appearance. We see some of these come back too. So
I want to know if long nose,
metal body. Here's
Here's
that gun that you were talking about.
Yeah, that one is under my favorite one, which is technology.
Oh,
which if you got it right, like if you got it, there was a whole other round of BS that you had to go through to figure out what you were gonna get, because there's like different rules for generating what you're getting, and then you roll over here, and it could be all kinds of crazy stuff. You could get a force sword, or a Jericho needler, or laser, or flamer. And remember, this is old school, so Jericho, the orangutan, Jakaro, those guys, they're from day one, man. Yeah.
So
I just want to get a last cannon.
Yeah.
That'd make me a pretty good demon prince if I were.
Moving on here, we do see the old paint pages. There's only like 2.
They've just gotten started.
Yeah. Da-da-da. This was the old Keeper of Secrets model, so we've come a long way.
We've come a very long way.
Fiends. Yeah.
Oh, it's not coming out of his elbow. It's just his fourth arm. Okay, he's kind of got that, like, I'm showing off the guns.
Yeah. What I wanted to get to, though, again, more pages of paint. What I really wanted to get to, more Colors of Chaos. This was banners.
That's cool.
Yeah, just weird.
Some old school. That's like definitely late 70s, early 80s kind of art there.
We get to the Demonic Legions, but what I want to jump over to, if I can find it, is when we start talking about the history of the Emperor.
Oh, that's
his full history can be found in the Realm of Chaos book. It's Lost in the Damned. However,
that's like up here.
Yeah, then we get to the Dark Millennium. Again, we've got stats for all the different Chaos followers and stuff like that. We're going to skip around, though. We get to the Dark Millennium, the section about to 40k.
Ooh, the Tree of Souls.
It does talk about the Chaos powers. We talk about the Imperium and Chaos, like how Chaos Demons interact with all that stuff. The fall of the Eldar, because, again, this book does focus on Slaanesh, so we got to bring up the Eldar.
And one of the things that you were talking about, it talks about like the Emperor kind of and his role as like the sort of pseudo fifth.
Yeah, we
get power.
It gets more into that in the other book, Lost in the Dam. But what I wanted to point out was, again, this book does cover the birth of Slaanesh, but it gets into the Illuminati and the Emperor. And the Emperor actually, in this book, confirms that he actually had children.
Yep.
As on his time as among men, he became father to many families, and those families had kids, and then he would take off or disappear, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And his children were known as the Sensei, and you could actually role play as a Sensei.
You could
in the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay game with the Lost in the Dam book. But this book covered about them and talked about how they were sterile, so it was just a single generation.
Well, and it's like, but they were also immortal.
They were immortal.
It's like a super, very, very Dune kind of influence thing. Because in the later Dune books, later the second bred into humanity genes that would make them immune from prophecy. These guys are invisible to psychics.
They are invisible to psychics.
You can't see them like that. The Emperor doesn't know they exist.
They almost have no emotion.
Yeah,
which is cool. They usually don't know who they are until they meet another one like themselves, which is kind of interesting.
They've got cool powers, and sometimes they're like, all right, one day we're going to have to fight against Chaos at the Battle of Armageddon. Not that Battle of Armageddon, but a different Armageddon.
Yeah, a different one.
But then they're like, no, it's all a trick. We're just going to sacrifice you to the Emperor so he can eat you and get his power back.
It also gets into the whole, is the Emperor dead? Does he need to die?
What is happening? Which is
crazy.
Gone back and forth a lot.
Yeah, there's teleporter accidents, the summon demons in 40k. This book also covers Chaos Renegades and the Horus Heresy with a little bit of backstory. There's the possession, which just happens there. But yeah, this book's got a ton of really cool stuff. We use it for reference all the time. whenever we're looking back, like, what do we think is going to happen? Are they ever going to, GW ever going to reach back in here and grab some renegade rules or stuff like that? We even have the Ordo Malleus, featured. If you wanted to run these armies in the Dark Millennium, which was 40k, you've got all that stuff too. Different weapons and all this crazy stuff. Those were the old school Chaos armor.
Ooh boy, look at this guy.
Yeah,
man,
pretty dope. Special equipment. They even had different army lists. This is where the first time we see the World Ears army list. Followers of Khorne and the Emperor's Children army list.
Sense. Followers of Slaanesh.
All those. Let's just stop for a second. I want to show off just like the Emperor's Children squad stuff. You had tactical squads, which at the time were 0 to 12 choices, because Slaanesh's magic number times 2 is 12. You had Devastator squads. You had Assault squads. You could get Beastman Slave squads, Chaos Spawn, and then of course all the demons, which was crazy. It's also had a Black Legion army list, so you can see is this prophesying what we might see in the future, where a Slaanesh book comes out and also the Black Legion. I don't know.
Well, and is this the Black Legion before Abaddon took over?
Sort of. But yeah, this is the Black Legion talking about them. How they used to be the Sons of Horus fled from the Imperial Palace during the reigns of War Master, a clear signal the realm had failed, and then they become the Black Legion. So
right, and they're saved only once they figure out how to get possessed by demons without destroying the mortal host.
Yep.
Which I don't know why that saved them, but it did.
This is an interesting note too. The Legion leave traces of its presence on many planets and has fought against Imperial forces on many occasions, but its motives and loyalties remain unclear. During the Ultramarines operation against the Tyranid Hive Fleet Behemoth, for example, a Black Legion helmet was found by a combat ship clearance squad. Why was it there? Don't know. But there you go. There you go. Black Legion operatives all over.
All over.
We know now what's been going on.
They follow Abaddon the Destroyer, the Despoiler. And are just kind of doing their best to...
I want to point this out too real fast. These guys are strength toughness 4. Where's the great... Oh, this is great. That's why.
Yeah.
Marines used to be tough 3.
Well, these are...
Grey Knight Tech Marines, toughness 3.
Yep.
Assault squads, tough 3. So strength 4, tough 3. So again, old school.
Old school 40k.
Old school.
Anyway, that is the Realms of Chaos, the Slaves to Darkness book.
Yes.
Be sure and join us again when we check out The Lost and the Damned.
Boom. We'll be back for this one.
For now, I'm JayArr.
I'm AdamHarry.
We're both in Bell of Lost Souls.
Thanks for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.